All right, 8th grade. Today starts the first day of going back into our Pearson text, but we are going to start fresh with Unit 4. And Unit 4 is called Human Intelligence. I'm really excited for this unit because we really dive deep into what it actually means to be smart. So our essential question is, in what different ways can people be intelligent? Because I have told you guys, if you think back to that favorite saying that I have, that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And that really ties into this and what it means to be intelligent, because some people might be better at certain things, but because they aren't the best at one thing doesn't make them unintelligent. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of things, and then the rest of the video is actually a very important piece that's going to help you with your discussion post. So if you look at today, your folder is actually conjoined with tomorrow. So what that means is that you can break down the 4 different things that you have to do today in any order. So if you go to our learning targets and directions, it tells you about Unit 4. Those of you who panicked and said, oh my goodness, I left my book at home, do not worry. Everything can be completed online. Does that mean you have to read online? Yes. It's not perfect. It's not what a lot of us prefer to do, but at least we do have that resource. So if you look here at our learning target, you guys are going to be drawing an inference from non-print and print text. Remember, non-print, that's like a video, okay? So at the very end of my spiel, there's going to be an awesome video about a savant who can draw New York City simply from memory. And then you're also going to use our launch text, which is that printed traditional text, you know, words on a page. And then after you draw that inference, you're going to cite text evidence to support that. And you're actually going to do it in a Flipgrid post. So if you come down here to your task, remember I said there's 4 different things you have to do and there's 2 days for you to complete them. The video that I'm recording now will be right here. So obviously you're starting step 1 if you're watching this. If you choose to close this out and do 2, 3, and 4 tomorrow, totally fine. If you want to split it up half and half, do 1 and 2 today and 3 and 4 tomorrow, that's fine. If you're feeling ambitious and you want to get 1 through 4 done today and relax tomorrow because, or excuse me, yes, tomorrow, I'm getting mixed up on my days because it's Friday, that's completely fine too. However you choose to break this up, again, is up to you. I know you have a lot on your plate with all of the other classes, and we want to give you time so that you're not overwhelmed. So after you watch this video, you're going to be completing a discussion post. After the discussion post, which is thought-provoking, then you're going to actually read the text. The launch text is in Pearson. I'm going to show you how to get into Pearson and how to annotate. And then once you are finished, it is going to require you to do a Flipgrid response. And that Flipgrid response, I know you guys are going to do well with, because I saw some of the Flipgrids that were turned in with the Warrior Book Lounge, and you guys did an amazing job. So going back to our folder, we just went over this page right here. Your discussion post number 2 is here. But notice there's nothing that says launch text. I want to show you how to get to the launch text because you have to read before you start your Flipgrid. If you look at your Flipgrid requirements, your rubric tells you that not only do you have to address the question, in what different ways can humans be intelligent, but you also have to not only use text evidence, but expand on your answer using personal examples. So that means you have to cite text evidence and then piggyback it and include that commentary that we talk about frequently. So before you get here, you have to obviously read. I'm going to go back to the home page and show you guys how to log into Pearson. So once you get back to the home page, you'll see this Pearson My Perspectives Online. We've done this before, but some of us might just need a refresher. And then remember, it's going to take you to this big empty blank page. You got to click again. And it should take you to the Easy Bridge. If it requires you to sign in, remember your login information is your Schoology, username, and password. If it gives you an error, there is troubleshooting on how to get through that error that I will include in this folder. Miss Russo set a video up and it shows you how to go through and accept the security certificate. So once you're in here, you're going to click Pearson Realize. And then once you're in Pearson, you'll go to Classes. You'll click your class. Remember, mine's a little different. And you'll see 2 assignments. Once you get to here, you're going to click, obviously, the Unit 4 Launch Text. And once you're into the launch text, this should look familiar. Again, I know reading online is not something that some of us are very comfortable with, but we do have to adjust to this, and we are very fortunate to have our resources that we normally would be doing in school so we don't get behind. So to make it easier on your eyes, over here, if you click hide, it will hide the title, which is the human brain. And then over here where it says student edition, if you click right here, it's going to give you less to look at as well. Now right here, this is actually where it plays the text for you.
The human brain. The famous scientist James Watson.
For those of you who struggle with reading online, you might want to listen to it as it reads it to you. That's completely fine by me. You might want to read it first and then listen to it. Again, it's up to you. The piece itself is only 5 paragraphs, so don't panic. Remember, we're just dipping our toe into the water with the launch text. And I want you to remember that as you annotate, that main question that we're focused on is how are people smart? What are the different ways that people can show intelligence? And as you go through and start reading, I want you to annotate. So when you annotate, remember you highlight the text and then it allows you to actually type in your response where normally we would write it in the margins. So as I'm reading, I see that it says, the human brain is truly impressive. It weighs only about 3 pounds but controls everything a person does, has done, and will ever do, physically, intellectually, and emotionally. Now that stands out to me. I'm going to highlight it. Blue's my favorite color, so I'm going to select blue. Now I am not done. I have to explain why this stood out to me. If I think back to that question, which is how are humans, or what different ways can humans be smart? This right here tackles the other ways that the brain works. So what I'm going to type in, this identifies 3 different ways the brain works. It is not just about intellect. It focuses on emotion and physical aspects. Now, has anybody ever told you that your body smart, meaning like you move and that helps you learn? That right there stood out to me. So in parentheses, I'm going to put that body smart meaning I learn more when I move. Now that right there is an annotation. I click save and it saves right there. So when you turn this in, I can see what you've annotated. Now if you don't like it, click your annotation, select delete, and you can delete it, okay? But again, you need to annotate. There's 5 paragraphs, so if I were you, I would at least have 5 annotations, okay? So shoot for 5. Once you're finished with this, you are going to turn it in to me. Now, the rest of this video is going to show you the savant young man who draws New York City simply from memory. So between this video the launch text, you will create your Flipgrid response. I cannot wait to see them. Enjoy!
Hi, I'm Stephen Wiltshire. I'm an artist. I'm in New York City. New York is my favorite city.
Stephen is an autistic, artistic savant. Drawing for Stephen is like air and water for us. He cannot live without it. I'm Stephen's sister. I'm extremely proud of him.
I'm gonna do a drawing of New York City from the memory. I feel excited. It's a beautiful city. Lots of skyscrapers. My favorite is the Empire State Building. It's a brilliant building. It was so beautiful out there, nice and sunny.
Every aspect of what he sees comes alive on paper.
So this morning I figured it out. We'll start with the Brooklyn, up to the Midtown Manhattan, all the way to Queens. Gonna start now.
I would love to be in his mind to actually see how he sees things. Stephen was mute until the age of 5, so drawing was a form of his speech. This was his language. He has a phenomenal memory and is able to memorize cityscapes, landscapes, how many windows, floors, chimneys. To watch the ink touch the paper, it's almost like fine embroidery. You can actually see it develop. I never get tired of it.
This is it, it's done now. I feel happy and good. I'm very proud of my work.
It's purely Stephen's own determination that he is where he is today.
Do the best you can and never stop.